Hello, princesses, and welcome back to Not Fit for Print Beauty with me, Rebecca. Today we have a really fun video that I've been planning for some time. This is my favorite luxury matte foundations, not high-end, but luxury matte foundations ranked, my top 5 ranked. We're going to do that in a minute. Plus, I am sneaking in one, oh well, if you want, you can call it a dupe, but I'm sneaking in one kind of high-end that is an absolute favorite that I'm actually wearing right now. That is half the price of all these luxuries and just as good. Not that I'm going to start doing dupes and things like that, but I just thought it really did belong in here. So my top 5 favorite luxury, and then one little dupe. So happy to have you here today. Don't forget that you can also follow me over on Instagram, TikTok, and on Threads. Now, as usual, if you are short on time, I'd love to have you here for the whole video, but if you are short on time, I certainly understand that. That's my life, really. You can make use of the very detailed timestamps down below, listed in both the description bar and here for you to scroll along. The description bar will also have all of these items. They're all still available for you to purchase. Plus you can find out about fun things like Super Thanks, which I always appreciate. And you can even, if you want, join our $4.99 a month membership where we have, it's through here, it's not Patreon or anything like that. It's here on YouTube. And we have weekly members only lives here on YouTube as well. We would love to see you there. All right, let's get into this. So let me start by saying I am not a fan or an aficionado of matte foundation. Okay, so that leaves you going, all right, Rebecca, then why did you just do a ranking and roundup of matte foundations? Well, because I'm not really drawn to them. And sometimes when we don't like something, we can be great critics of it because we're starting off side-eyeing it. Like you. Slightly full coverage matte foundation, you get away. So when one's good, and I say it's good, I'm telling you, I probably have a point. If it's a glowy foundation, a luminous foundation, I'm like, I like it, I like it, I love it, I love it. It's like, oh God. These I am not predisposed to liking or loving. Like for instance, Chanel, I love Chanel foundation, but I do know that Chanel has, what is it, like the ultra latent and all that. I don't wear those. They're like, and you know, they're heavily scented as well. I don't generally like them, but I do feel that we have to do the equivalent of a foundation land acknowledgement right here. Not making fun of land acknowledgements, but basically I do have to tell you that when we talk about kind of matte, medium to full coverage foundation, we are on borrowed time and on the land of Estee Lauder Double Wear. So everybody stop right now. All hail Estee Lauder Double Wear. They are not on my list because this list is luxury foundations from luxury fashion and beauty houses. So Estee Lauder Double Wear is indeed the reigning queen supreme of anything that is matte and long wearing and basically full coverage, and we will give it its due. Have we gotten that out of the way sufficiently? Okay. And, you know, I did have to give a little bit to Chanel. I do know a lot of people who love matte and full coverage foundations and do love Chanel. But Chanel is also not on my list. So what 5 are? And what in the world is this I have on my face right here that I'm telling you is half the price? Stick around to find out. We're going to talk about them now. I'm going to do my list and then we're going to do some face swatches of them so I can divide up my face and let you see how they kind of look as they sit on my skin in my shade. And then at the very, very end, I will reveal what in the world I'm wearing here that is half the price. All right, let's get into it. So number 5, let's go start to finish. Number 5, luxury matte medium to full coverage foundation. Please know that I skipped things that were matte, that were kind of like a skin tint. I really wanted to do liquid, not powder. And I really wanted to do medium to full coverage and matte. Not luminous matte. What does that mean? It's like kosher ham. You know, matte. Starting with number 5. Does anyone know what it is? Dior Forever Matte Foundation. This has SPF. Ugh. It's SPF 15. Now, SPF is a thickening agent, and then they can go through these extra little steps that kind of certify it because it's in there anyway. To me, SPF just turns and eventually makes me break out. And SPF 15, you have to use so much to get all the SPF benefits. So you're probably getting like a 2.5 or a 3. But anyway, there it is. It's a little extra. A lot of you will see it as. This is $57. Dior's not that. I mean, Dior, you can't afford a handbag or the clothing. The makeup, you know, for luxury makeup, it's not as bad as it could be, I suppose. This is a medium coverage of matte, $57. I got it in 2.5N, which I blindly order anything from Dior in 2.5N. As a later joke in this video during the face swatches, if they had a mattress pad by Dior, I would order a 2.5N, not a king, you know? Okay, it's got 41 shades, so a nice shade range, 2.5N, $57, medium coverage matte. What do I like about this? It's pretty. What do I not like about it? It's almost too matte. See, here's where I reveal myself as someone who doesn't generally enjoy matte foundation. I have found a new love for this foundation by wearing it, by mixing matte and glowy and wearing it with something like the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter or even one of the new Dior glowing kind of primers underneath, not mixed in, but underneath, and this over. I feel like it gives it a little bit of life and movement, and when I wear it that way, I love this. When I just wear it kind of alone or on a regular, you know, old primer, I'm not a huge fan. It's okay, but it made my list of top 5 because when I put it with a glowy primer, which we're not doing today, I really like it that way. So if you have it and haven't got a lot of use out of it, try it that way. Sometimes when we mix high and low like that, glowy and matte, it's kind of nice. But this video is all about the matte. Number 4 is a bit of a pricey one, of course, because it is Guerlain. This is the Guerlain Perure Gold Skin Matte Foundation, and its little cover is on wrong, like a puzzle that obviously eluded me. This one only comes in 18 shades. It's got some wide-ranging shades, but it's missing some in the middle, to be honest. It is, hold your horses, $93. It's a beautiful foundation. I put it a little bit down the list towards number 4. I like it on the skin alone, better than Dior. But, you know, the $93 price tag, come on, Guerlain, really? That Dior has a little bit of fragrance. The Guerlain has a little bit of fragrance. These are perfume houses, both Dior and Guerlain. $93. I am shade 2N. It comes in, like I said, 18 shades, no transfer, 24-hour wear. Dries to a powder-like feel. Lots of skincare ingredients. Beautiful bottle. I mean, my goodness, you're paying for it. Got the Guerlain there and this here. And I will put, I hope you saw, when I did my little Dior thing, I did put a little video up there, and here is, I'm going to put it up here, the review that I did on this, the full-length review with wear test, and I hope you saw, I forgot to mention it, that I put it up for the Dior as well. I have reviewed every single one of these, so I will leave them up there for you. That is my number 4. We're going to do face swatches of all of these. Number 3, also a little bit of a fragrance, I think, to this one, but we'll give it a sniff. The Givenchy Prisme Libre Skin Caring Matte Foundation. Yes, I was reading that. I wear shade N250, but it comes in 35 shades. It is $58. A little bit of a scent, not as bad as some of the others. Medium coverage. It could also go full. All of these can. Waterproof, long wearing. Uses kind of like a pink clay in it, which is nice because it prevents shine, but it also kind of tightens the pores and, you know, absorbs oil and all that stuff. And it is a beautiful one, a little bit more simple in its packaging, $58. So right around the price of the Dior, and a little bit of scent in that as well. And like I said, I wear shade N250, and we're going to be doing face swatches. And here is that video where I reviewed and did a wear test of this fellow right here. It's a beautiful one. Okay, now we have my top 2, but don't forget that there's an outlier here, a dark horse that I'm going to talk about towards the very end of the video. Okay, number 2 that I really, really love is the Burberry Beyond Wear Perfecting Matte. This guy is $60, still very, very pricey for a foundation, but it's Burberry. This comes in 30 shades, and I wear shade 5 Light Neutral. It is the it's the Burberry Beyond Wear Perfecting Matte. Hint, 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 hint. Start watching the Burberry site or your favorite Burberry retailer. You know what's coming soon. You know me, I'm such a fan of glowing foundations. I had to just let you know. They've got an ultimate glow foundation Burberry coming soon. So just belongs nowhere in a matte video, but I'm just telling you, it's coming soon. Okay, but anyway, back to matte. This is the Burberry Beyond Wear Perfecting Matte Foundation, 30 shades. This was really fun because I'll put the review that I did of it right there. And I had a good time with it because they say that they use trench coat technology, which I really envisioned the marketing team at Burberry high-fiving each other across the table. Good one, Hal. Thanks, Lisa, that kind of thing. Trench coat technology, isn't that cute? Because they say it covers you and it evens out and blurs the same way a trench coat would if you were wearing it over your clothes. But they feel the Burberry trench is still breathable and waterproof, water resistant, humidity resistant like a Burberry trench coat. And usually I roll my eyes at the marketing speak, but that was really clever. I got to give it to them. 5 light neutral for me, and we are going to skin swatch this. And let's see. Yeah, a little bit of fragrance. I'm sure it's in there as well. I am not talking, when I do a sniff test, that's how I'm telling you if there's fragrance. There has been times when I have said that a complexion product does not have fragrance because my sniffer just doesn't sniff it. And then people tell me, oh no, it's in there. So I can see that, but I'm just going by my nosy. What was the one, the newest Kosas one I said had fragrance? Because gosh darn it, it does. My nose doesn't lie. And Kosas contacted me and said, we don't have fragrance in there. Because, you know, they're calling it who knows what. It has fragrance. I like the product, by the way. I'm just teasing Kosas. But anyway, so Burberry, $60. And this is the Beyond Wear Perfecting Matte. That's my number 2 out of 5. Don't forget Ultimate Glow by Burberry. Coming soon. You know I'll be on that reviewing it. Beautiful. This is beautiful in matte. I can't imagine in the Ultimate Glow. Very excited. Number 1. So here is my number 1 favorite luxury matte foundation. I can't wait to tell you, but don't forget that I am wearing one that is a little bit of an outlier. So stay towards the end of the video for that. Much cheaper. But while we're still in the trenches, to borrow that from Burberry, of the luxury, let's talk about my number 1. You can guess what it is? Take a moment, please, and write down below what you think my favorite is. I told you it's not Chanel. It's not the all sacred Estee Lauder double wear. It's not. It is the Christian Louboutin Fluid Foundation. It is in a gorgeous packaging. Look at that. It is $77. There are 30 shades of this fellow, and I am number 20N. They call this a luminous matte. It's not. And normally I wouldn't have included it if it said luminous matte. Don't luminous matte. Jumbo shrimp. It's an oxymoron. Luminous matte. How can that be? But it is a matte. I'm sorry. You're not fooling me, Christian. You're not fooling me. It is breathable, buildable, 24 hours, doesn't transfer. It is medium to full coverage. This is everything but the price, everything you could ever want in a matte foundation. In fact, Michelle in Texas, who has been with this channel forever, say hi to everybody, Michelle. Michelle wore this in her Texas heat. She lives in Laredo, and it is really hot and really sweaty, and this held up for her beautifully. At the end of the day, it looked like she had just set out the door. So this is great if you live in a humid area, or you're just, you know, a lot of you guys are working. I have viewers on this channel who a 12-hour shift is an easy shift. Raise your hand if you are in the healthcare. My nurses out there have told me, the doctors out there, that they are working long shifts and they need something to hold up. This will do it. It's $77. But again, this is my top 5 luxury. And at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you what I'm wearing now, which is actually not luxury. It's not drugstore, but it's not luxury. So if you want to save a little money. But the Christian Louboutin, let me put my video up here. I just reviewed it the other day, is a fantastic matte luxury foundation. It is absolutely wonderful. Now, what I want to do now, I know I haven't revealed what I'm wearing yet, but I first want to go to some skin swatches on my face of how all of these foundations look when you put them on with no sort of primer under them or anything over them, just kind of on bare skin, just to kind of show you the differences in the shades and the differences in how they wear. And I hope that will be helpful for you, but you know, I can answer any other questions also. Please take a moment and make sure that you are subscribed to this channel, as it helps me get the word out and grow. And let's go to our little skin swatching luxury matte foundation demo, and stick around for this little dupester. Okay, there's nothing on my face right now, as you can tell, at all. I'm turning the clocks back, going back in time. I have 5 clean brushes here so as not to contaminate. And I thought we could do some face swatches a little bit. I guess I could have washed my face 5 times and showed you a full face. It gets to be a bit much. And I've reviewed all of these separately, which I will make sure, of course, as I did, to put up those reviews. All right, but let's try these out right now. We're going to go, you already heard my list, so we're going to go 5 to 1. We're going to start here with our Dior Forever Matte. And as you know, this is the one I said I'd like to, I would rather have a little something slippy under it, a little bit something with a glow. And this is in 2.5N. And here it is on my hand here. And I'm going to do, I see, dividing it in 4 would have been so easy. 1, 2, 3, 4 quadrants of the face. Something's going to have to share. So this is my least favorite. So we'll make this share. So here it is, and we're going to have all different colors too. Some little side area of my hair. I have no concealer on. We're just talking about foundation here. But that is a very pretty burst of fragrance there. Of course, it's Dior. That is a very pretty matte foundation, and you can see the way it is sitting on the skin. Again, 2.5N, which I kind of blindly ordered from Dior. No matter what it is that Dior makes, it could be a sedan. It could be a pair of shoes. I would order it in 2.5N. I don't even look. That's just what I am across the board. I love that they do that too. That they're just, because Tom Ford changes things around, stuff drives me crazy. But there is, in that part of the face, because we're going to divide that up, there it is right there. And you can see this has nothing here, and this has nothing. We're not doing a concealer video. We're not talking about the dark pits of despair in my eyes. Those are not covered, though. They're out right now. If you see them, they're there. But we're not doing a concealer video. Okay, if you're new to this channel, you're like, what is she talking about? You'll see. All right, number 4 is our Guerlain Perure Gold Skin Matte. This is in shade 2N, and we'll go ahead and do the other part of my face with that. Hopefully these will be a little helpful to you if you were looking for a matte. The one thing, and I will use a new brush, these are all Sonia G mixed bristles with some natural and some synthetic, just for better placement. So you're going to see some color changes here a little bit, but usually one doesn't wear a mosaic of foundation. Remember, usually you'd have it over the whole face, and you'd maybe make up for any little differences with bronzer, blush, things like that. So you are going to see some color differences. I've done foundation videos before where I do the rainbow on my arm and everybody's shocked that they're all my shade. Okay, so this is actually kind of interesting. This part of my face has that Dior matte, and this part of my face has that Guerlain. What do you think? Can you see a difference other than the shade? Yeah, they do. It does get a little bit like splitting hairs, doesn't it? They're both very nice. Okay, switching brushes yet again. Let's go to number 3. Now we can give it a whole area as we're getting into my top 3. And the top 3 starts with Givenchy, which is this one right here. The Prisme Libre Skin Caring Matte Foundation. I have it in N250. And a clean brush here. I'm using all my foundation brushes in this video. Okay, let's go ahead and give that the whole side of the face. This is the side of the face that has the blemish. Does anybody remember what this blemish is care of? It is care of Supergoop. I tried out that new Supergoop. Check out that video if you haven't seen it. It is very, very, very shiny. And the next day, as a result of very, very shiny, I had a giant blemish that is still, well, it's gone, but it's kind of stained my face. Of course, right? That's what happens with those horrible blemishes. So this one got the benefit of having the whole cheek, whereas the Dior and the Guerlain are sharing. But let me just let that dry down for a moment. And it is interesting to see the differences, to see how the shades lean. Again here, and I have to make sure I'm saying this right. Yes, Givenchy, Prisme Libre, all matte foundations. Guerlain, Dior. This is kind of fun. All right, switching brushes. And you haven't even heard my my little sneaky one that I'm sneaking in. You're going to see that at the end, unless you've cheated. Now, my top two, as you know, are Burberry and Christian Louboutin. So let's give Burberry this whole top of the head there. Why not? I guess Burberry should have gotten the other cheek, huh? Okay, so Burberry, don't worry, I'm being careful. I'm not mixing them here. And I'm going with another Lotus brush that I have that's clean. And let's check the Burberry out here on top of the head. This has a little bit fuller coverage, as you can see already. Look at that. Yes, much fuller coverage, just kind of bringing it into and between the middle of the eyes. I'm not doing a great job. I got some of it on my eyebrows and such. Forgive me that I'm not going for that. I'm just going for you to see a face skin swatch Burberry. Do you have a favorite yet? Dior, Guerlain, Givenchy, whole cheek, Burberry. Okay, and we'll give the little chin area to the one I reviewed the most recently, which is the Louboutin. These are all basically, switching again to another new brush, and we'll do the chin with the Louboutin. You couldn't wear all these together in a mosaic like this. They are just different shades. And I'm getting it on my lips, guys. I'll be precise with my little surprise one. I didn't even get the tip of my nose. This is really just a little, either sophisticated or unsophisticated, depends how you choose to see it, a face swatch. Wow, you can really, okay, aside from the fact that, like I said, I'm a little bit like a quilt with shades, you can see I didn't get my nose. It's full coverage, so you can kind of see I didn't get the tip of my nose. It's just kind of fun and interesting. These are my 5 favorite luxury matte foundations. Should I remind you again? This is the Louboutin, Burberry, Dior, Guerlain, Givenchy. I checked to make sure. Got to keep myself in check. What do you think? All right, I'm going to come back. I'm going to wash this off. I'm going to come back and reveal my dark horse that you might not have. What? That is also one of my favorites, and is a little bit of a dupe. So we are living in a little bit of a dupe culture. And people ask me, what's the dupe? What's the dupe? They always used to ask it, but now more than ever. And this isn't drugstore, because I don't review drugstore. I have mad respect for it. It's just not what I test out and review. So I do have a little dupe that is a lot more affordable than all of these products that we've discussed, my top 5. And this one, it has a little place of its own, and it is what I'm wearing now and what I was wearing in the intro. I wonder if you guys know what it is, because I often recommend it when people ask me for a matte foundation. This is the One Size by Patrick Starr Turn Up the Base Blurring Foundation. It is $35, about half the price of most of them that we looked at today. Comes in 18 shades. It is matte, medium, hydrating, kind of like a mousse. I wear shade light 3. I am wearing it right now. So I pulled a little bit of a fast one on you and actually wore the dupe, so to speak. I don't really do dupe videos, but, I bought into it a little bit there. If you are looking for a really reliable, good, long-lasting, comfy, pretty matte, I am wearing that now, and you want to save a little bit of money, plus the Sephora sale and all that is coming up, I would recommend this one from Patrick Starr, one of my absolute favorites, and it doesn't cost an arm and a leg. Now, in the swatches, could you tell the difference on the face swatches, and do you like this one too? Now, this one, of course, has some blush. I don't really have any eye makeup on, but it's got a little bit more of a head start than the others did on those kind of sloppy, quick face swatches. But I hope it gave you a little bit of information. And of course, it is all listed down below. If you haven't seen it yet, let me put it up here. This is the video for my 20K celebration, and that's where you can sign up to win one of the cool giveaways that I'm doing. And that contest is open until midnight California time this coming Friday, the 22nd, I believe it is. Yes, it is. So, make sure that you check that out depending upon when you are seeing this video. Ask me any other questions below and tell us what your favorite matte foundation is. Please remember, I did stay away from things like tinted foundations and luminous matte and things like that, which aren't really matte at all. I try to stay with really, really matte. Maybe you are an Estee Lauder Double Wear fan. I don't know. Why don't you let us know down below what your favorites are, because I would love to hear, and that's what makes us a community. Don't forget to share and like, and of course subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Lots of new stuff coming up this week. Oh my goodness, if it's new, I got it all. It's coming up this week. See y'all soon. Bye-bye.